with the Scar Face, your boy Scarface, and welcome back to another episode. Thank you guys again for always tuning in, always supporting the podcast, always, my bad I didn't come out with an episode last week. I know people were messaging me and asking me how come there was no episode. It's because I did have to do something last minute, and I was supposed to record the episode. I ended up not doing that just because I had to do something last minute. So I wasn't able to record something, and sometimes that's how life happens, things happen. But shout out to everyone who continues to listen, and even though we try not to miss, we try to get every Monday, we try to get a new episode. So here we go. Happy Memorial Day. Shout out to everyone who's been hopefully you actually celebrate today. What it's for is to remember those who have fallen, to let us do what we do right now. You know what I mean? Like for them, risking their life. We're able to do podcasts like this, do social media, and not have to we're not, being able to be free about it. So anyways, thank you guys. Always remember what Memorial Day is. It's not just another weekend to go and have barbecues. So again, thank you guys for listening to the podcast. Shout out to everyone who keeps listening. If you guys want to keep supporting the podcast, we do sell hat pins. We do sell these necklaces. They are going to be on sale for Sunday and Monday. So if you're listening to this on Monday, then guess what? You got lucky. Shout out to everyone who has purchased them so far. You guys, I really do appreciate it. Shout out to everyone who continues to support your boy no matter what, whether it's like just liking something. If you could just like this podcast, leave a 5-star review, whatever, share it. That's more than enough. But there's also people who want to continue to support and do things like that. And I really do appreciate it. So shout out to everyone. Buy some pins, buy some merch. Everything is linked in the bio. It all goes a long way. So again, thank you guys. And I'm actually wearing my Sucia necklace. Shout out to everyone that won. I did do a giveaway on them as well too. So if you're not following me on TikTok or Instagram, you need to be. So anyways, I wanted to get into this episode, especially summer's coming around. But before we get into the top 10 reasons why it's okay to be single or why to be single, just have a mental check-in with yourself. Meaning how some people always say, hey, check in on your friends. You never know how they're going to be doing. I get where that's coming from. But at the end of the day, you need to, if you have issues going on, you need to talk to somebody. There's always people willing to help, whether it's family, friends, or somebody just that you don't know, that is paid to help you, is getting paid to do that stuff. So, because, a while back ago, I had a guest on the podcast, and he actually took his life this morning. Shout out to Jeremy. I just found out this morning that he went through a lot of things as when he was younger. And so now I don't know, you never know what's going on, but if you have some issues, if you have something wrong, if you're having these thoughts, people are willing to help. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be ashamed. Don't be none of that. Whatever you're going through, trust me, it's only temporary. Things can be fixed. Things can be changed. So make sure you reach out for some help. Yes, they say always check on your friends, but trust me, I don't want friends my friends being like, "Hey, you good? Hey, you good? Hey," no, because at the end of the day, that's my responsibility to be good. If I'm not good, that's when I reach out to somebody. That's when I'm start talking to somebody. If I'm feeling some sort of way, that's when you reach out to people. Okay, don't be waiting for somebody to come and save you. And again, it's good to check in on friends every now and then, see how they're doing, see if everything's good, because sometimes maybe that's all they need. But always remember that I can't be checking in on everybody, and I don't want everybody to be checking in on me, So if you do have some issues, please get some help. Somebody's always there to listen to you. Again, whether it be family, friends, or somebody that you actually have to pay, to talk to you about your issues. Don't wait until you just can't take it anymore and something happens. So again, Jeremy, we weren't the closest or anything like that, but every time I did see him, I did say hi. And you just never know. He always seemed fine to me. Again, he seemed fine to me. And if he would have reached out and been like, hey, I got these issues going on, I would have been more than happy to listen to him. So again, if you guys have some issues going on, if you have some weird thoughts like that, hurting yourself, please reach out to somebody, talk to somebody. There's always somebody there willing to talk to you and, show you that there are people that care about you and are willing to help you get past this, because, you can get past this, you just need to reach out to somebody. So again, I wanted to start that off by saying that just because I did find out today that he did, take his life, and it sucks. But again, if you have issues, just reach out to somebody. Like if you have those thoughts, if you have any type of thoughts, depressed thoughts, anything like that, reach out to somebody, please. All right. So now we're going to get into this episode. Now, I wanted to do an episode because summer's coming around. And some people are like, I want to be single during the summer, or, or summer fling. Or they want to have somebody to have, like, to do things in the summer. And I wanted to do top 10 reasons why it's okay to be single. Like, it's okay. You don't need a rush. There's some people who jump from relationship to relationship because they can't be alone. Now, let me start this by saying, like, yeah, at moments, it does suck being alone. But what I've noticed is, like, yeah, in the beginning, like when I decided to take some time for myself, yeah, it does get kind of lonely at times. And sometimes you're just like, hey, I wish like I would have had somebody to do this or go do that. But then once you get past this one little point, right, you're just like, you can do anything by yourself. Like, you're not reliant on anybody. I don't need somebody to go get some dinner, a drink, or go do something. I don't need anybody. I can go do it myself, And sometimes I prefer to go do it myself because it's so much easier to be like, I'm gonna go right now, instead of being like, hey, like, you trying to do this, you're trying to, like, does 6 o'clock work? Like, no. Me, I'm just more like, let's go do it. So some people are like, yeah, it gets lonely. Yeah, it does get lonely. But once you get past that one part where you like feel like you need somebody, you're gonna realize how much of more of a dangerous person you become, because now you're not reliant on anybody to do something. Like, now I don't, like, if I have an idea, if I want to do something, I do it. I don't have to like run it by anybody. I don't have to get validation from anybody. Like, I just make it happen, if I want to go do something, I go and do it. I don't need no, like, hey, you were trying to do this with me. Like, no, I just go do it. So number one that we have is personal growth. Being single allows you to focus on your own development, discovering your interests and passions without influence of a partner's preference. And that's true, like, because sometimes when you're with somebody, you tend to do not everything you like to do because the person you're with doesn't like to do everything you like to do. So you compromise a little bit and you don't do some of those things that you want to do. But now that you're single, you can focus on things that you like to do. That's why I tell people when they finally out of a relationship, start that side hustle, start that business, start that whatever you wanted to do, go to school, do whatever you wanted to do where you didn't have enough time because you were investing that time into a relationship. But now that you're single, you can focus on you being single and your own development, your own healing, and your own growth. And you can do that when you're not reliant on somebody else, or you're doing things that you don't really want to do because your partner wants to do those things. So there's that too. So that's why personal growth, it's been huge on me. Huge. Like, I've been able to grow ever since my last relationship. I've been able to grow drastically. If I were to talk to that person again, they probably night and day, night and day difference compared to where I was then and where I am now. And so that's why sometimes, like, sometimes when shitty things happen like that, that's why look at the positive. Like, you may come out better at the other side, and I 100% came out better on the other side. It did suck at the moment when you do like end that relationship, but um, and it's really tough to see the positive. Like, at that time, it was tough for me to see the positive in that too as well. But now looking back, I'm like, I'm glad I got out of that because I was able to get how I am now. Like, now I'm like each year I feel like I'm the best version of Edgar, best version. Continue to grow, get better, and that's why I really push for people to do that when they're single and now you have a little bit more time to focus on yourself, because again, when you are with somebody, it is an investment of time, and you're like just time into that person, investing, going to see them, seeing them, hanging out with them, spending time with them, doing something they like to do, or maybe sometimes you guys do something you like to do, but um, it's always a dance you play, or you dance that you're dancing with this person. But now that you have more time by yourself, focus on some personal growth, read more books, like when I do the lives on TikTok and I start talking about like growth and personal growth and things like that, people really get motivated by it because uh, I do listen to a lot of audiobooks, podcasts, documentaries, and things like that. That's going to help me, you know, um, grow as a person. And I don't take everything out of one audiobook. there's maybe like a few things I'm like, oh, I really like that. Like I'm gonna try to implement that into my life and things like that. So that's why I always tell people listen to audiobooks, watch podcasts, like good podcasts. There's the funny ones I listen to, and then there's ones that are like more of learning stuff. There's entrepreneur ones. There's different ones that I listen to for different things, you know, because sometimes uh, you want to hear in a comedy podcast, you know, you want to laugh, you want to get some laughs in there, you know. So especially Theo Vaughn, I love watching his, you know, I got to see him. He's actually coming here soon, so that's gonna be cool. So number two that we have is freedom and independence. You have the freedom to make decisions and pursue opportunities without to consider the partner's needs or opinions. And that's true. Like now that you're single, or if you're single, if you have an opportunity somewhere else, now you can just get up and go. Like you don't have to, hey, like I really want to do this. Yeah, but we live here. I can't just get up and leave. Like and this and that. Uh and sometimes when it's just you can do things like that. And you know, or like I talk about it all the time. Like that's why I like that I'm single and I have no kids. Don't get me wrong, I love kids, but right now, like if I wanted to go do something next weekend, if I don't have an event, I can be like, all right, I'm out, dip out, and then leave. Like I don't have to ask nobody, I don't have to find no babysitters, I don't have to do nothing like that. Like I can just leave, and I'm okay with traveling by myself. So you know what I mean? Like so there's that. Um so freedom is, again, because it's not like you're trapped in a relationship. You know, you are investing your time into this person, you are investing your time, so it takes away from things that you like to do or would like to do. So that's why, like with being single, it's okay, you can pursue that because you don't have to run it through anybody. You can just go and do it. So it's huge, trust me. Like just being able to leave and go and do something without having to tell anybody, amazing. uh, so number three that I have is financial control. Managing your finances independently can empower. Managing your finances independently can be empowering, allowing you to spend or save according to your own priorities. And you know, maybe like say there was a guy who wasn't really in a financial position to be in a relationship, but you know he was struggling paycheck to paycheck, couldn't really do the things that he wanted to do for his girl. Uh, but now with more time, he's able to figure out, hey, how can I get my finances up? How can I do this? Uh, that way, like whenever I do get into a relationship, I can do a little bit more, not have to worry about like, oh, like can I really spend that much, or should I spend that much, or put things on credit cards that you shouldn't be putting on credit cards, and just things like that. And you're, now that you don't have a partner, like some guys that do, you know, happen to pay a lot for the relationship. Now you can just focus on things, maybe save up for something that you want to do, a business, school, a different home, a rental property, or just save some money just because now you're not spending it on somebody else, you know? And the same thing goes for the girls. Like maybe you were with someone who you were reliant on, and now you're just having to be more independent, which is good because you should. Yeah, if the guy wants to take care of you, cool. But if you can take care of yourself, that's even better because now you're not reliant on this person. So if something were to happen and you want to leave, you can just be like, I already know how to do this on my own, so I'm out. Or you know, there's some people. There's this one girl that I knew that she wanted to leave her relationship, but she was like, he provides for everything, like he pays all my stuff, and this is and that. That's a problem. It's not a problem if the relationship was going great, but it's a problem because she doesn't want to be in the relationship, and now that's the only reason holding her back is because this dude's paying for all her stuff, and now she feels like she has to stay, or maybe she doesn't know how to do it on her own. But you learn how to do things on your own, which is very powerful. That way, like if you do decide to leave, like, or like say you do have your own right now, you'd be like, now I got to pay my bills, now I got to do this. That way I'm not reliant on a man. And if you get with a man and he wants to pay for yourself, that's totally fine, nothing wrong with that. But you already know how to take care of yourself just in case something happens, you know. So uh or like even then, like maybe this guy, maybe you were paying for everything, because there's some guys who have the girls fucking pay for everything, which is fucking weird. um you know, now you're not paying for his stuff, you're not doing this, you're not that, and you can save up to go to school. Maybe there's something you wanted to go to school for, a home or something like that. Like you can save up for something. So you can totally take care of your financial, you know, situation, just because now it's just you and you don't have to worry about somebody else. But it also might be bad because maybe they were paying half of everything and now you just can't afford everything. But trust me, we all make it work somehow. Okay. And you're just going to learn not to be super reliant on somebody. You know what I mean? Like it would suck if I was like super reliant on somebody, meaning like if I had a girl paying like half of everything and then like my finances were only allowing me to, I was okay because she was paying for half of everything. But then as soon as we separate, or I don't want to separate because now I'm like, fuck, I got to pay for everything. You know, like some people run into those issues. Like me, like I pay all my shit, and I never have anybody pay for my shit. So just putting that out there. Number 4 that we have is self care. You have more time to focus on your health, fitness, and mental well being, establishing routines that suit your needs. And this is 100% true because I've had the TikTok questions and on the lives, people like, why does my man get upset now that I want to get into shape? And it's not because you're trying to attract somebody else, is that you just want to feel more confident, more like losing some weight, lifting some weights, getting a bigger booty, getting some bigger arms, like whatever the case may be. Like now you want to work out, but your partner doesn't want to work out. And now they don't want you to work out because they feel like you're trying to work out for somebody else or for a reason. And it's just because you want to better yourself. Like the confidence coming out of the gym or finishing a run is amazing. Like I just went to go run. I did 4.5 miles. I feel great, a little tired, but I felt great afterwards. The confidence, that serotonin boost, I feel great. And I feel the same way when I leave the gym after getting a good workout. Like right now, my chest is all sore. My back is all sore because I did back and buys yesterday. Like it feels good, and it makes you feel confident leaving, knowing that you did some solid work. So you're going to be able to focus on that a little bit more. And it's a good way to distract yourself too. Like after you, because trust me, breakups suck. Breakups are, put you in a funk, but distracting yourself, that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest advice I can give anybody is just distracting yourself. Because if I just like broke up with somebody and just like sat on my couch or something and just like, oh my God, I wish I was with, no, of course that you're never going to heal over that. But if you're like, all right, I'm going to do this, I'm going to go to the gym. Yeah, like it sucks. You're still thinking about it. But once you're at the gym, you start feeling better, get your body moving. And then eventually over a period of time, you start to get over this person, right? And you're like, I can't believe I was like that, right? People have said that all the time. I can't believe I was like that towards that person. So uh, just you're going to be able to take care of yourself, and not being reliant on somebody else. Because sometimes when you do want to work out, say your partner does want to work out, but they're like super lazy. They're like, how do we really need to go today? And now you're reliant on them to go. They don't want you to go by yourself because they think that some guys look, it's just a whole mess. But now you have more time to take care of yourself and just be more confident. Be more confident with yourself. So whether you're a guy or girl, get back in the gym. If you're single, get back in the gym. You might meet somebody at the gym. I always say avoid people at the gym, especially the same time that you go, because if it doesn't work out, it's kind of awkward because you got to see this person still at the same time. But just building that confidence, because girls love confidence, fellas. Girls love confidence, and the gym can help build your confidence up. Because I remember when my little brother, when he first started working out, scrawny, not very confident. Now he's like throwing weights like crazy. He's freaking built, and confident. You know what I mean? Like it's a huge difference, night and day difference. So number 5 is building strong friendships without the time to commitment of a relationship. You can invest more in friendships and build a solid support network. And this is true, or you can also focus on networking, building your circles, and things like that. It doesn't necessarily have to be friends, but because sometimes when you want to go out and network with people, talk with people, because networking is the fastest way to grow in any industry, because you meet the right person that can help you get to the right place a lot quicker. Um, so you're able to do that. But say you're a girl, your guy doesn't want you to go and network because there's all these guys there. They're going to be flirting with you. Yeah, and there may be guys. Yeah, they may try to flirt, but at the end of the day, like you got to trust your person. But some people have a hard time trusting people because they're probably doing something shady or they're very insecure or jealous. But you're able to do stuff like this. Focus some time on some friends, because that too, like even some guys don't like their girl going out with their friends because um, it becomes a problem. You guys seen it? Like a girl wants to have a girls' night, but then the guy gets upset. Like, why do you need to go? Like, being given all these insecure vibes, right? But now you don't have to worry about that. You can focus on building those friendships, and then when you do get with somebody, be like, hey, yo, every now and then I like to hang out with my friends, just like how you saw me out with my friends. I like to go and hang out with them. So just putting that out there. Uh, and me, I would say focus more on, of course, have your friends, but building those networking relationships. Because again, if you're doing something, that's the fastest way to grow and get to the right place that you want to be at, is by networking and finding the right people to plug in into your circles, and just knowing the right people. So networking is a huge thing for me. So I would say plug that in that area. Focus on that again, because sometimes when you go network with people, yes, it's girls. And imagine me being with a girl who's like super jealous or very insecure and like, oh, you're gonna go what? There's gonna be girls there. There's gonna, you know what I mean? Like then it becomes a whole problem. So again, you're able to focus on that. Number 6 that we have is career focus. Being single can allow you to dedicate more time and energy to your career, leading to professional growth and success. Absolutely. Because when you are in a relationship, right? Again, it's an investment of your time and effort. Uh, so if you're investing some time and effort into the person you're with, that takes away from everything else: friends, career, uh, maybe health, like meaning like gym and stuff like that. Like whatever other hobbies that you have that you like to do, you're gonna take a hit on those too because you're investing time into this person, right? And so when you're single, you're able to dive in full force. You don't have to worry about somebody getting mad that you're working too much or you're doing too much. Now you can just do your thing, grow, 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 and then eventually you get to a point where you're like, okay, you do want to let somebody in your life, right? And because you're in a better place that you wanted to be at, because you grinded for like a good year, maybe two, and now you get into a whole different place. Happened to me. uh, you grind hard and you start getting to places. So imagine if I had somebody the past 3 years and that was like, hey, give me time, hey, give me time, which was taking away time from everything else that I was doing, instead of me diving full on into like what I want to do, like the social media, my company and stuff like that. Focus full on that and get that to grow. It grew a lot, a lot. So just putting that out there, like you can really focus on your career, and you're able to grow a lot, because again, you're not investing. Some of your time isn't being taken away by a relationship. And depending on the person, sometimes relationships can take up a lot of time because you want to do a lot of things with this person. So people tend to slack at the gym after a while. You see people gain weight, um, or whatever hobbies that they used to do, they really don't do them anymore just because they're hanging out with their person. Again, because this takes a lot of time. And same with career. Maybe you are not as focused and driven in your career anymore because you're investing time into your person. So, uh, being single, you don't have to worry about it. All right. So number 7 is personal space. You have complete control over your personal space and how you organize it and use it, creating an environment that perfectly suits you. And that's true because again, you have to become accustomed to being by yourself because uh, some people can't do what I do, right? They think they'll probably get lonely. Again, in the beginning, there was times where you do get lonely. You do wish you had somebody to go and do something, but then you realize how much BS is out there, and you're like, yeah, I'm glad I'm not dealing with none of that BS. And I'm able to do again what I want. Like I don't have to. Hey, at this time, like that's why I don't have a gym partner because I don't like synchronizing times. Like sometimes, oh, I got to work out at this time. Like, oh, I'm gonna work out now. I can't be like, you imagine when you have a partner, hey, yo, I'm trying to work out in 10 minutes. You want to go? And they'll be like, I can't. What about in like an hour? And then you're like, oh, okay. And then you don't have nothing to do up until the hour. So you just sit around and not doing it. No, that's not very efficient. uh, so that's why like me, I can do whatever I want whenever I want. Boom. Like I want to go do this. Boom. Want to go do this. I want to do it now. I want to do it. And that's how I am too. Kind of like my bad to the people. I'm kind of last minute, meaning like, hey, like let's do it now. Because something will come up and I would just be like, well, can you do it now? Or hey, let's do it in like 10 minutes or let's do it in like 20 minutes. But that's just how I am. But I'm able to do that too, just because like obviously I'm single. I wouldn't say that if I was out on a date. I'd be like, hey, you want to do this in like 20 minutes? I'd be like, I can ditch it real quick. So you have more personal space. You're going to be able to use it for things that you want to do. And trust me, like doing things that you want to do go a long way because again, you do make a lot of sacrifices when you do get in a relationship with somebody. You're not doing as many things as you like to do before because yeah, maybe you get to do some things you like to do, but then you like to do things that your person likes to do because they like to do it and you want to be included in their life and you want to seem interested in their life. So trust me, it becomes, again, it's like a weird dance you have to do. So adventure and being spontaneous. My bad. Adventurous and being spontaneous. You can travel and try new activities and embrace spontaneous activities without needing to coordinate with a partner. See, I said that earlier. I said that earlier. Like, I can literally, like, if I want to go do something this weekend, boom. If I want to go do something tomorrow, but I can, but I have to work because I have things to do. But if I wanted to, like if I didn't have anything to do on Memorial Day, I could just be like, I'm gonna go do this, and then take off. I don't have to report to anybody. I don't have to tell like, hey, yo, I'm gonna go do this. Like, is it okay if I go do this? If I go hang out with this, hey, let's go here. I'll be like, oh, I can't because I got to work. Or hey, like my family's gonna do something. We should go over there. And, like then you start doing things like that, which is nothing wrong with that. But I like just randomly doing shit. You know what I mean? Like actually today I thought about going to Salt Lake, but I was like, no, I have some things I need to finish. And I was like, I'll wait for a weekend that I don't have a bunch of things to do where I could just like leave instead of when I know I have things to do instead of leave. That's how you become responsible and disciplined. Okay, like, I was like so close to leaving because I wanted to go do some things in Salt Lake, but I was like, no, let me finish the stuff I need to finish. Maybe a different weekend you could just dip out like that. So you can be adventurous. Like if you want to take a trip somewhere, go do something. You don't have to ask nobody. And like, or even like if it's like go do something locally. Sometimes uh, your partner doesn't want to go, so you don't go because they don't want to go because it's not something they're into. But being single, you could either find like a friend that goes with you or, just go by yourself. Shit, I go by myself all the time. I'm not reliant on nobody. Like I don't need a friend to go do something. Like I go to concerts by myself. I go to the stores by myself. I go do everything by myself. I do not need somebody to go with me to do anything. And people know that. And it's funny, like well, not funny, but like just the amount of things I've done that I know I probably wouldn't have never done if I were to wait for somebody, like either a friend, a partner, or something like that. Because I remember, like my ex, I would be like, "Hey, we should go do this," and she would be like, "Ah, I really don't like to do that," and I would just be like, "Okay," you know what I mean? Like, what can you say? So, but being single, you can be a little bit more adventurous, and I highly recommend. But if you do decide to travel by yourself, please, please, please make sure you share your location. This is for girls. Make sure you share your location. Make sure you have some sort of protection on you. You know what I mean, like pepper spray, like some sort of weapon, because you never know. And always be aware of where you're at and who's around you. And if you do go somewhere else, pay attention to your drinks, ladies. Like pay attention. If you didn't see the bartender make it, do not take a drink from somebody else. And if they bring you the drink, again, if you didn't see the bartender make it, do not take that drink. Like, just be, hey, like, I'm not really drinking right now, or already got one. I really don't feel like drinking anymore. Something like that, easy. Don't tell them, I didn't see you make it. Because you never know. You never know. And especially if you're out by yourself. And another thing, never tell somebody you're out somewhere by yourself. Okay. Biggest mistake you can do. Like because there's some people, even if, like in an airport, trying to figure out who's out by themselves, who's doing something by themselves. Because if you're like, oh, I'm here by myself. Sometimes when people ask me, hey, like, what are you doing out here? I'd be like, oh, I'm doing this. I'm gonna, I'm meeting my friends up over there real quick. I was running late or something like that. That way they're not. I'm like, oh, I'm out here by myself because you never know. What if they try to rob you? So just keep the heads up. Number 9 that we have is emotional independence. Being single helps you develop emotional resilience and self-reliance, making you more self-sufficient. See, I am extremely self-sufficient now. I use my time wisely. I book up my time pretty like busy a lot of the days, and it's not necessarily always like work. Like I'm like, all right, I need to do this at this time. I need to do this. I need to focus on this at this time, and it gives me like I'm more efficient throughout the day instead of like like when you're with somebody, you're like, oh, like I gotta invest some time into this person. I can't go do this because I said I was gonna go do that. You know, and you learn how to use your time a little bit more wisely, and you get a lot more stuff done. I don't know why. Like I get way more shit done when I'm single than I do when I'm in a relationship. It's just weird. I get way more shit done. Um, because sometimes, again, when I'm talking to somebody or trying to be with somebody, I'm trying to invest time into that person, and it kind of like takes away from other areas, which I'm okay with for the right person. That's why I'm very picky. Not just anyone, because if I invest my time into somebody and it doesn't pan out, I'm just like, you know, want it to be worth the sacrifice, if that makes sense. Not just somebody who you feel like they're just gonna dip out. So, and the last one that we have is understanding clarity in future relationships. Understanding yourself better and knowing what you want can lead to a healthier and fulfilling relationships in the future when you choose to pursue them. And this is why I tell, like, there's a lot less BS I'll take now. Especially being single for so long. Like, there's a lot less BS. Like, if someone does something, I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I was not feeling this way when I was single or by myself. I'm good. This ain't working. I'm so easy to check out because I know what I want. And if you can't give me that, then cool, we're not meant for each other, right? I'm not going to be like, well, it's, there's a red flag there, but it's okay. Like, we'll see where it goes. Maybe it'll get better. It's not going to get better. Or if somebody crosses your boundaries, or anything like that. Like, that's why, like, I can check out so easy. I'm not reliant on anybody. Like, I'm not like, oh, let me just see if, no, I don't care how pretty you are. I don't care whatever. Like, if I get some sort of red flag, if you don't respect my boundaries on certain things, then I'm out. Like, it's so much easier for me to go be single and live drama free, like that type of stress free, than worrying about, like, somebody like that, right? Like, especially if somebody's being shady, and now, like, I didn't like that weird feeling in your stomach when somebody's being shady. Now you're just like, I hate feeling like this. I'm just better off single. I'd rather just go through the little couple weeks that it's gonna suck, being like, fuck, I really like this person, thought it was going somewhere, and it didn't go anywhere, than having to deal with, like, are they being shady with me? Like, are they, doing something behind my back that I don't know? So, that's why, like, I'm more clear on what I want. And if you can't give me that, then that's cool. We ain't meant for each other then. And again, so that's why I always say, like, now I know what kind of, there's a lot less BS that I'll take from somebody. If you do something like, again, a red flag or something like that, I'm just like, I'm out, dog. That's a no for me, dog. Like I've been saying a lot lately for some reason. But anyways, those are the 10 reasons why it's okay to be single. There's pros and cons, and there's nothing wrong with being single for a little while and just focusing on yourself, because at the end of the day, like, you'll be amazed on how much you can grow when you're single. Some people just don't know how to be by themselves. That's why they refuse to be by themselves. If you can learn how to be by yourself and do everything by yourself, like, trust me, you become a very dangerous person, they say, because now you can do a lot of things and not be reliant on people, because we all know those people that, like, oh yeah, let's get a group together, or, hey, who's trying to go do this with me? Like, I'm trying to go do this. I'd be like, I want to go do that. I go, like, I rarely hit anybody up. Hey, you trying to go do this? I just go and do it. Like, that's just me. But anyways, I want to thank you guys again for always supporting your boy, the podcast. Shout out to everyone who comes over from the TikTok. If you, it's helped the podcast grow drastically, is the TikTok. So shout out to everyone who comes from the TikTok. But make sure you guys follow my socials. If you guys don't have a TikTok and want to listen to some of these questions, I did create a page over on IG. It's called Scar Talks. It's also linked in the bio. It's an IG version of the questions. I just post the questions over there too. So just for those people who don't have a TikTok or refuse to get a TikTok, to listen to those over there. But where I mainly do go live on Mondays and Wednesdays is on TikTok. Sometimes I do a dual live because the system that I have lets me go live on 2 different places at once. So I might go live there and then also, like, on TikTok, but mainly TikTok. So that's where I do a lot of the stuff, just because everybody joined. Like, there's a lot more interaction and people joining in over on TikTok. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for listening to this episode, and I'll see you guys in the next one.